Hi, and welcome to Stamp with Ginny. Today I'm going to share with you how I stamped this card using the Incredible Like You stamp set and our free Sale-a-bration ribbon. So let me set this aside and we'll get started. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is take my gorgeous gray piece of cardstock. This happens to measure 4 by 5 1/4, and I am going to adhere this onto my card front so it's ready to go. And then I can set my card front to the side and bring in my Whisper White cardstock for my sentiment. So I'm going to use the So Glad We're Friends, and I love this set because it's got this wonderful font. I've stamped that in Grapefruit Grove, and I'm going to take my 2-inch circle punch and I am going to punch that out. And once I have that, I can take my small flower and ink it up in the Highland Heather and pop one on there at the bottom just to give a little pop of color there. I'm going to bring in my Whisper White piece of cardstock, and this happens to measure 3 3/4 by 5. And I'm going to flip this over so I can see where I want my large flowers to go. I'm going to take the outside image here with the bold print, and I am going to stamp and then stamp again. And like I said, that circle was just a visual, so I knew where to go with my flowers. I removed it so that I won't damage the back of that. And I'm going to do the 2-step with the Highland Heather again. And isn't it cool the way this stamp set works? How it gives you 2 shades with the same ink that's built into the image. The next thing I'm going to do is take my Lemon Lime Twist, and I'm going to ink up this long image here of the leaves, and I'm going to do one to the right of the top flower and one to the left of the lower flower. And once again, I'm going to take this 2-step image, which gives that branch of leaves a little more dimension, and I'm going to ink that up in the Lemon Lime Twist and then repeat. 2-step images like this are perfect for the Stamparatus, but I find this real simple to line up. The next thing I'm going to do is stamp this little twig, and if you don't want to allow any space between the flower and the twigs, you can use a mask. So I've simply stamped the flower onto a Post-it note. It has a little bit of sticky here, and I'm going to put that over my flower, ink up my twig so that I can stamp it around my flower. And as you can see, I'm going right over that mask. It won't hurt anything. And then I'm going to flip it and use it on the bottom here. And over on this side. And I can remove that mask now and set it to the side. And I can use the small little floral image here with the little buds in Grapefruit Grove. And I'm going to add those to the twig. Sorry, I'm trying to not hit the camera, so it's a little harder for me to see and line these up. And then I'm going to do the other side. There we go. So I've got some random leaves around those 2 flowers, and I'm ready to add the ribbon down the center of the card. And I find that real easy to do simply by taking a couple of pieces of snail, and of course that will be covered by the sentiment. Okay, and I'm going to take a 12-inch length of my Daffodil Delight ribbon. I'm going to do this kind of a Z-fold with the ribbon simply by creating this layered ribbon, tacking it down to my adhesive in the center of the card. And I can adjust that as I want simply by lifting and pulling and then replacing that ribbon down on that snail so that I've got a little bit of texture there. At this point, I am going to add dimensionals to the back of my sentiment, my minis, because that's what I have handy. Remove the backings and then adhere this where I want it in the center. And at this point I can trim that ribbon if I'd like and kind of pat it down where I'd like it to be. Okay, and I'm ready to add it to my card front. And then I'm going to add these cute little sequins to the card front. These sequins are part of the Gingham Gala suite of products, and they're super because they're self-stick. They're multiple shapes and sizes and multiple colors. You'll get 5 different sheets in your package when you order these, which is just a great value. And they're so much fun because you can simply stick a few on your project. It adds that little bit of pop of color and a little bit more texture. So there you go. Let me show you the original again. If you'd like any of these products, feel free to stop by my online store. You can get there from my blog, Stamp with Jini. And if you don't already have a demonstrator, email me your name, address, and phone number, and I'll be happy to mail you a 2019 Occasions catalog. Thanks for joining me.